We were doing volume and all that. Senior year. Brother's gonna be a freshman. My mom's getting her baby.
Alright guys, we do have to record because the I messed up the video for a second period was like just would not focus and it was being real temperamental. So we do have to record in here. Alright, so remember that you go to second matrix. The matrix button is right below math. Make sure you're going through these motions, guys, okay, because it's really easy with a calculator. It's very, very difficult without a calculator. All right, we go over to edit. We edit the first one. There are 3 variables and 3 rows. What's a 3 by 3? Then we type in 4, and then 1, and then 1. Are y'all okay on where I got 4, 1, 1? It's the first coefficients. All right, what's my next coefficients? 5. Perfect. And my last ones? Perfect. Very good. Make sure you hit enter after the last one. If you don't hit enter, it won't work right. All right, then we go back to matrix again. We go over to edit. But this time we're going to edit the second one, right? Because we've got to put in what it equals. So it's a 3 by 1. What's the first number it equals? 0. What's the second number it equals? And what's the last number? 52. Make sure you hit enter after 52. All right, then you have to get out of the matrix. So you have to hit second quit. You have to tell it to get out of edit mode, okay? All right, then go to second matrix. Enter on the first one. So it should go back to the main screen with an A, right? You got to find the inverse, which is the same matrix button. You just don't hit the second, okay? Hit enter. You're going to get a bunch of crazy decimals, right? You really don't have to change it to fractions if you don't want to. So hit times. See how it says, your calculator says, okay, I'm going to take that answer and I'm going to multiply it, right? Second matrix, you want it to multiply it by the second one. So hit the down button for B. Hit enter. What do you get?
2.
Now, it is very likely that I'll ask you a question like this on the exam. You ready? What is the Y value of this system? What is it? How'd you get 1? Because X is the first one, right? Y is the second one, and Z is the third one. So if I said, what's the X value, your answer would be 2. If I said, what's the Y value, your answer would be 1. I have one person that knows the answer. If I said, what's the Z value, your answer would be -9. Guys, I guarantee you, if this was a choice, I would have A is 2, B is 1, C is -9, D is whatever, E is whatever, right? And you've got to make sure you read the question carefully. Does that make sense? All right, what about 29? Do I need to go over how I got the answer to 29? Anybody need help on 29? What's wrong? You get which one, baby? The 2, 1, -9? Okay, let's finish this 30 and I'll come help you, okay? All right, what about... All right, so we need to go over 30, right? Okay, vertex form. Let's just start back over. Let's do this one. 30 over here. So vertex form is ax minus h squared plus k, right? Where your vertex is the h and the k. So this is my vertex. What's the ordered pair for this vertex? 2, 3, right? So that means 2 is what letter? H, and 3 is what letter? K. All right, now since it's flipped upside down, what does that mean that my A is? -1. So instead of H, I'm going to write 2. Yes, ma'am.
Will you give us one where it's like not going to every
No, not on, no. It'll just be either positive 1 or negative 1. Yep. And then instead of K, I'm going to write +3, right? Andy, kind of, sort of? Is that a little better? Okay. Bless you.
I just forgot we got it.
Yeah, it's just your vertex. And remember, everything from a parabola stems from the vertex. Are y'all okay? All right, so Caitlin, let's go over what we're going to do for tonight, and then I'll come help you get that one, okay? All right, so tonight, flip over on the back. All right, now remember, guys, I didn't put anything for Chapter 5 on this study guide, okay? So you're going to need to make sure that you look over the study guide for this test. So Sam, you got a test on Friday, right? I'm going to give you a study guide on Thursday, and that study guide goes along with this final too, okay? I just really didn't see the need in printing it out twice. So tonight we're going to do 31 through 34, okay? 4 problems. Find the domain and range for number 30, and then 32, 33, 34, it says to factor, okay? I kind of cut them up because I know y'all were, some of us a little rusty on factoring. Are y'all okay? Okay, so while I help Caitlin real quick, y'all can work on those for just a second, and then we'll get into today's lesson in just a minute, okay? Turn. Let's see, where are we at? Let's turn to page, I think it's 17, isn't it? And, okay, yeah, 17. 17 is some extra problems that we are not turning in. But if I know some of us are still having a little shaky on factoring, especially on those cubes and those quartics with the 4s. So I'm going to post the key tonight. We are not turning this in. This is not something that you had to stress about getting done, but you need to look through and say, okay, I'm weak on factoring cubes, so you need to go work on the cubes. Or I'm weak on factoring when there's an x to the 4. Or I'm weak on grouping, and you need to work on those problems, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? All right, so we're not going to turn it in, but actually, we may do a checkpoint or something on some of these problems tomorrow.
What section is the
From the very beginning of Chapter 5 that I gave you last week. All right, so let's flip over to page 19 now. Here we go. You ready? Page 19. All right, so we have done this before, but now, once again, the lovely thing about math is there's more than one way to do things, right? So if you don't understand how to do one way, you can do another way, right? Y'all good? Okay. So how did we do these problems before? If I told you to find f of 4, what would you do? You just plug it in, right? But that's the easy way. But I have to teach you how to do another way, okay? And actually, it's a good thing because it goes along with long division. And the only thing that y'all were weak on long division is when you were missing an exponent, right? Y'all forgot to put the zeros in. I do have your quizzes graded, by the way. Remind me to make sure I give those back to you at the end of class. So here we go. So number 5, the first thing it tells you to do is find 4. So remember that cute little box thing that we put on the outside? This time we're going to put 4 here because this is called synthetic substitution. So it's a tad bit different. It's a tad bit different, but it still works very, very similar, okay? So we put the 4 right here. Then am I missing any exponents? No. So I do 2 and then 1 and -5 and 3. Kind of got to write a little small if you want to fit all this stuff in, okay?
Why are you using the one?
What? You sure?
Yep.
Okay. So the only 2 things that we were weak on our quiz was we forgot to put the zeros in, and some of y'all were trying to subtract. We always add, okay?
Why wouldn't you switch the 4 to -4?
Not on substitution. On division, yes, but not on substitution. You take that sign. All right, so you bring the 2. Y'all are rock stars at this. Y'all knew how to do this. Even with fractions and everything, y'all were good. Bring the 2 down. Multiply, you get 8. Add, you get 9. That was the only thing. Make sure you add instead of subtract. Multiply, and you get 36. Excuse me. Add and you get 31. Multiply. Goodness. Multiply and you get 124, right? Alright, so then I'm going to add those. Hold on, let's let the screen get, there we go. Add them and you get...
There's things I found, but you know, some of it we changed it. You pull some columns off.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's see, add them and we get 127, right? So substitution, synthetic substitution is very, very similar, but it's a little different. So your answer is your remainder. So my answer is f of 4 equals 127. Now, you have to show your work, but if you wanted to check, what could you do? You could say 2 and then 4 cubed plus 4 squared minus 5 times 4 plus 3, right? The way we did it before? And what'd you get? 127. So if you want to check your work, you can do that. Are y'all okay? Pretty easy, right? Alright, let's do the next one. What's the next one that tells us to plug in? So we put -3 in his cute little box right here. It tells you right there. And let's see, we're going to use those same coefficients. And make sure that you add, okay? Alright, let's bring the 2 down. Multiply, you get -6. Add, you get -5. Multiply, you get 15. Add, you get 10. Bless you. You get 10. Multiply, you get -30. Add, you get -27. So your answer is f of -3 equals -27. So, let's talk about what this means for the graph. What is f of 4 equals to 127, and what is f of -3 equals to... What in the world does that mean?
The y.
Not the y-intercept, but you're close.
Y equals 7.
Jessica Lynn, what are you saying, baby?
What y is when x is 11.
Very good. So y is 127 when x is 4, right? So your ordered pair is 4 and 127. Then y is -27 when x is -3, right? Yes, ma'am.
When we were first learning this, didn't you say that f of x was the same as y?
Yes.
Then why is that our
Because this, what do you mean?
y?
So when you say f of x is the same as y, that means whatever f of x equals is the same as y equals. This whole f of 4 is equal to 127. So your whole y value is 127.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I thought that the other side was the y because you said it's equal to y. That's why I was getting confused. But I get it now.
So you thought that I said the 4 was equal to y?
Yeah.
No, that's
because you
because
said the f of x equals y, so I thought you meant that equals y.
okay. The 127 is the y, but the 4 is what you plugged in for x. So he is your x.
Right.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right. What about 6? What are you missing on 6? You're missing an x squared, right? So you put the 4. We're still plugging in 4, so we're putting him in his little box. And now I'm going to put 3 for x cubed, but I don't have an x squared, so I'm going to put a 0. What's my y to the 1? -4, and what's my constant? 2. That was the only 2 things that y'all were weak on your quiz. Other than that, y'all did absolutely phenomenal on those quizzes. Alright, bring down the 3. Multiply, you get 12. Add, you get 12. Multiply, you get 48. Add, you get 44. Multiply, and you get...
176.
Yep. I don't know why I was about to... Add, and you get... Perfect. So f of 4 is 178. And you're like, man, I don't know if that's right. What could you do? You could plug it in. Then you're like, I still don't know if that's right. What's another way you could check your answer? You don't even have to graph it, right? So 3x cubed minus 4x plus 2. I don't have to hit graph. I need to hit second table. And when x is 4, what's your y value? 178. You got 3 different ways you can check your answers, okay? Alright, let's finish this out and then Y'all can do 7, and then we will go on to something else. All right, let's do this one, last one together. All right, so we got 3, 0, -4, and 2. And let's see, bring down the 3. 3 times -3 is -9. 0 plus -9 is -9. -9 times -3 is 27. -4 plus 27 is 23. 23 times -3. How much?
It's -69.
Okay, yeah, never mind, I heard something else. 6 plus -69. Very good.
So,
What? You sure? Okay. All right, let's do number 7, and then we'll mark out 8, okay? Because y'all got the hang of this, right? Okay, if you need 8, I'll put the answer for 8 in case you want to work that out by yourself. But let's work on 7 real quick. There you go. There's the answer for f of -3, ladies. In case you want the answers, in case you want to work out 8, here are the answers. Just in case you want them, if you need some extra practice. Those are the 2 answers for 8, okay? You're not missing anything on 8, it's just a little long. So if you want some extra practice, there's 8. All right, so we're not going to do these bottom ones because we can do that in another section. And we've got a lot of stuff we already have to cover in this section. So let's flip over on the back of that page. You ready? Flip over on the back of that page. All right. We have 2 problems. They're very, very easy, but they're a little long, okay? They're very, very easy. All right. Y'all ready? Bless you. Okay, so you have 2 letters that you need to find. The only reason I put all this stuff in here is for you to see what we're doing, okay? So you need to list all the possible, okay? That doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen. We're just going to list all the possible rational 0. What's that 0 mean again? X-intercepts, right? That doesn't mean I have this many. It just means that they're possible. All right, so here we go. You need to find what P is, and you need to find what Q is. It's very, very easy, guys, okay? Do I need to slide that up some so y'all can see it? There we go. Yeah? All right, so P is the last number, which is your constant. What's your constant? 24. And Q is your first number. What's your first understood number here? There's a 1. There you go. All right, then all you do is you list all of the factors. Like, you remember how we found zeros? We had to find the factors of the back number, that add or subtract to be the middle number, right? It's just that this one's a little long. So here we go. What's the factors of 24? Does 1 go into it? Yep, you got to put plus and minus. Does 2 go into it? Uh-huh. Does 3 go into 24? Does 4 go into 24? Does 5? Does 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Yep. Anything else? Just 24, right? Is that the only one? So that's for P. All right. Q is easy. What's the only number that goes into 1? 1, right? Plus or minus. All right, then all you do to find the actual list of factors is you take P and divide it by Q, okay? And that's all your factors. So we take P divided by Q. Ready? This one's easy because every single one of these divided by 1 is just the same thing we already had, right? What's 1 divided by 1? What's 2 divided by 1? What's 3 divided by 1? 4 divided by 1? 6 divided by 1? 8 divided by 1? 8 divided by 1? 12 divided by 1? 24 divided by 1? There you go.
And you have to put plus or minus.
All right, second period came up with a little ingenious way. They put a plus and minus, and then they put a parentheses around everything. So that means plus and minus goes to everything. I'm cool with that, as long as you put parentheses. Yes, ma'am.
So if you have the same amount of numbers for Q as you do for P,
No, the only reason it worked out was because Q was 1, and you're dividing by Q, so everything was being divided by 1.
but would you always have only one number for Q?
No. This just so happened to be a prime number. All right, let's do this one. Here we go. The only time it was one number for Q, Caitlin, is if it's 1. All right, let's do this one. So P is the last number. Don't take the sign, just the number. What's the number at the end? 18. And Q is the first number. What's the first number? All right, now this one's going to be a little lengthy, but it's easy, okay? All right, what are all the numbers that go into 18? 1, 2, 9, 18. Those are all the numbers that go into 18, okay? Everybody good? Anybody lost? Okay, all right, what are all the numbers that go into 6? Well, I can't write that fast. And 6, right? Okay. So all you do for your answer is take the P divided by Q. All right, now it's going to be a little lengthy on this one. You ready? We got to do some mental math. Let me drag this up so y'all can see everything. All right, here we go. First P is 1, right? What's 1 divided by 1? 1. Plus or minus, Then what's you take that 1 for P again, you got to do for each one of them. What's 1 divided by 2?
So did they have to go in that order?
No, normally, like if you look at answer choice, they're going to put all the whole numbers first and then all the fractions. But as long as you have them, I don't care.
So you could do like all P divided by 1 and then 2.
I do it this way, that way I don't miss one. All right, what's 1 divided by 2? 1/2. What's 1 divided by 3? 1/3. And 1 divided by 6? 1/6. Okay, so we're done with that one. Let's go to the 2. Because P comes first, right? What's 2 divided by 1? 2. What's 2 divided by 2?
1.
I already got 1, right? Don't write it again. I already have 1. All right, what's 2 divided by 3? 2/3. And what's 2 divided by 6? I already have 1/3. Don't do it again. So now we're done with 2. Are y'all okay?
What if we write it twice? Come on.
Then you better rewrite it for nice and pretty with the ones that aren't repeated at the end. What about 3? All right, what's 3 divided by 1?
3.
Let's see, I don't have 3 yet. There we go. What's 3 divided by 2?
3 half.
3/2. I don't have 3/2 yet. I have 2/3. I don't have 3/2. What's 3 divided by 3? I already have 1. What's 3 divided by 6? A half. I already have a half. Are y'all okay? All right, let's do 6. What's 6 divided by 1?
6.
All right, I don't have that one yet. What's 6 divided by 2?
3.
3. I already have 3. I'm good. What's 6 divided by 3? 2. I already have 2. And what's 6 divided by 6?
1.
I already have 1, so I'm done with that one. Are y'all okay? Very, very easy, right?
Yeah.
All right, 9. What's 9 divided by 1? 9. 9 divided by 2?
9.
I don't have that one yet. I got to write that down. 9 divided by 3? I already have 3. And 9 divided by 6? 3/2. And I already have 3/2. So I'm done with that one. Last one, you ready? What's 18 divided by 1? 18. 18 divided by 2? I already have that. 18 divided by 3? I already have that. 18 divided by 6? I already have that one.
That's annoying. Yeah.
There you go. You all okay? You should be happy. It's easy. All right, we got one more thing to do. Okay, let's flip to the next page. Okay. This is where we got to do at least 2 problems. This is where you need a graphing calculator, and things can get a little hairy if y'all don't pay attention. And then we got a checkpoint, and then we're done for the day. Yeah, on graphing. All right. Here we go. You ready? Where's my calculator? Right here. All right. How many terms do I have? 4. So what do I normally do? This says find all the zeros, right? So it says find every single spot, find every single x. It doesn't say list the possible ones like the other one, okay? The other one says list the possible ones. This one says you better find those zeros, okay? So I have 4 terms. I normally do grouping, right? But if I do grouping on this is going to be x squared in common, which will be x plus 1, right? What do these two have in common? Yeah, they do. Don't say nothing. Negative 1. That'll leave me with 17x minus 15. Weren't these two supposed to match up? They don't match up, right? If they don't match up, then we got to do something different. Here we go. You ready? Here's the first thing that I do. First thing that I do is I take my graphing calculator. Hopefully it focuses in 2 seconds. Hold on. Y'all don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. All right, here we go. Let's go to y equals. And let's plug that in. X cubed plus x squared. It's the little arrow right here below clear. And then hit 3. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. You're welcome. And then subtract 17x. And then plus 15, right? It's a cube graph, so you know it's already going to make the cube, which is the little nene looking thing. Right? It's going to have a parabola up and a parabola down. You see it? Okay. You already can tell what your x values are, but I need you to show me on paper, okay? Because the state of Alabama says you got to know how to do it with a calculator, and you got to know how to do it with writing on the algebra, okay? Does that make sense? Not just the state of Alabama, the whole country says you got to do it. So what are my 3 x values? What's this one? Negative 5. What's this one? 1. And what's this one? 3. Okay? So it doesn't matter. Pick one. I'm going to pick negative 5. So here's what we're going to do. Huh? We are going to do long division, okay, to factor it. So we're going to take out negative 5, because that was one of my factors, right?
You don't switch this one?
Huh?
You don't switch this one?
No, because remember we already switched it when we factored it. Remember? It'll be, when we have it, it'll be x plus 5. Then we set it equal to 0, it'll already be negative 5. Okay. Alright, so we have 1, negative 17, and 15, correct? We already know what our answers are supposed to be. So let's see what we get. Bring the 1 down, multiply, add, multiply, you get positive 20, add, you get 3, multiply, and you get negative 15, add, and you get 0, right? Okay, so what do we know? We know we have x plus 5, right? Was our first one?
Where'd you get that?
From the graph. Remember how it gave us a negative 5 as an x-intercept?
Yeah.
And if we do x plus 5 equals 0, it'll give us negative 5. All right, then we know we have x squared for 1x squared. Hold on, let me finish this out. Minus 4x plus 3. Caitlin, where are you confused by?
Why did we do x plus 5?
Because remember we had 3 x values? And the first one was -5. If I take x plus 5 and set it equal to 0, what's that x value? -5, right? That's where I got this one from. Then I can use that -5 to do long division to figure out what the rest of it is. Now I can still factor this back piece. What are the factors of 3? 1 and 3, right? -1 and -3. What's this x value? Which is right here. What's this x value? +1 right here. What's this x value? Which is right there. We're going to do another one, okay? Don't worry. We're going to do another one.
Is that the answer? We don't have to do
That's the end. That's factored. Well, list the zeros. Excuse me. It does say list the zeros. So we need -5, 1. Thank you, Lindsay. I didn't
say x equals and then put commas.
Yep, as long as you don't put in parentheses. That's perfectly fine. All right.
Why do we have to use the graphing calculator part just to check our work?
Yes. To check your work, and you have to see where this first one is. That way you know what to take out. Okay? All right, number 2. Here we go. Grab your graphing calculator. You okay, Sam?
Yes, ma'am.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. We're going to do this for a couple more days, so don't worry, okay? All right, here we go. X to the 4th plus 6x cubed plus 73x squared plus 384x plus 576. Now, when I hit graph, I'm not worried about anything other than what values? The x values, right? I'm only worried about where it hits the x-axis. So don't worry if you can't see something. Don't worry if you're like, I can't really tell what number that is or any of that, okay? Looks like it, because it stops thinking. Which means the other one is probably just way up here where you can't see it. It's an imaginary number. Okay. All right, so here we go. What number is that? -3? Okay. Here we go.
Wait, mine's
What?
not working. Let's make it look at something. I feel like the policy is you okay? Oh, that's fine. Just hit the delete button. Oh, no, just like, whatever it's on, it'll delete. You hit clear, it'll clear all of it. It'll just delete that one thing. 384. Yeah, you did it back. Wait, hold on. 73x squared, then plus. So right here. Then plus 384 x. And then x off 76. There you go. Now you're correct. I think it should be something. There you go. Alright.
Okay, so what was it? -3, right? Yeah, -3. Okay, am I missing anything? No. Okay, it's just going to take us a minute. Alright. So here we go. Most of y'all look like you're doing it, so I'm just going to put the answers up here.
Wait, why did you take out -3?
Look right here when I graphed it.
Oh, okay.
When you graphed it, it hit the x value was -3. Alright, where are we at? Pulled out the 1. Sam, you okay with what we're doing so far?
Yes,
Okay. 3, that's -9. Add 64. Multiply 192. 192. Is that right? Multiply, is that -576? Is that right? Okay, that'll be 0. 1, 2, 6. Yeah. Alright, so let's see. I know I have x plus 3, right? Because if I take x plus 3 and set it equal to 0, what's it give me? -3. It's not going to do you any good to sit here and just stare off into space. All right, so this is 1 less. So that'll be 1x to the third. And then 3x squared, 64x, and 192. Are y'all okay? Anybody lost? Sure are quiet. Are y'all just working them out on your own? Okay. All right. Huh?
Never mind. Go back.
And then I can't take this any further, right? Are y'all okay?
Wait, why can't we?
Well, if you were to group it, they don't have any. Do they have the same thing in common?
192 divided by 64 is 3.
Is it 3? Okay, that means that all of them are just going to give me x is 3, if that's the case. So let's do this. Let me show you what I mean. So if I group this, x plus 3, right? Let's see, those have an x squared. See how they're all going to be x plus 3s? All of my answers are going to be x is 3.
Except for x squared plus 6.
And then take out, you said 64 goes into it? And then this one will be different. But the other ones will be x plus 3. So this will be x plus 3. Yeah, let's see, that'll be x plus 3. Oh, I need parentheses. And then x plus 3, and then x squared plus 64, right?
And is that what you said it'd be an imaginary?
Yeah, this one's the imaginary one. The other two are my x values.
Will
So,
there be another x function? Will there be another?
these two, remember, come to the front. This comes to the front. Pretend like this is the only thing you have.
So do you have to do that part or no?
Yes, because I need to know what the x, because it said find the zeros.
So do you have the imaginary one?
Yes, you need the imaginary one.
You need the second x plus 3. Do you need to make that square?
No, because remember this is grouping. You just pull what they have in common to the front. And then you pull down what they have left.
Yeah.
Because there's only one of them. Over here. This is grouping like we've always done, right? Because you're adding right here, you're not multiplying. So I take what they have in common and I pull it to the front. If I take out this x plus 3, I have an x squared. If I take out this x plus 3, I have a 64. Same way we've done grouping since the get-go.
If you were to multiply it out, then it'd go back out.
It'd be the exact same thing. Yep. All right, so what do we have?
Could you simplify the x squared plus 64?
That's what we're doing. It's a plus sign, so I can't break it up as x minus 8 and x plus 8, right? So I know that this one is x equals negative 3, correct?
Yes.
All right, so let's see. The other one is x squared plus 64 equals 0. If I move that 64, x squared equals negative 64. There you go. See how it's 8i? I want to do one more?
You have to do the 8 out part?
Yes, because it's an imaginary. You have to do the 8i. One more? Then we'll call it a day? Okay, one more.
Where did you say, like yesterday, how you said that you could figure out how many answers you had based on something?
You should have 4 answers.
Oh, so you count the 2, 3,
Because remember, it was a parabola right there. Whenever it occurs twice will be a parabola.
Okay.
Okay, all right, let's do 3. Here we go, last one. All right, so let's go to y equals. Let's type it in. This will be the last one. Then we'll call it a day after this. I don't. Huh? We still got 5.
You would have to do the missing exponents. Like the missing.
Not when I'm typing it in here. When I'm doing long division, yes. Because your calculator is smart enough to be able to do that on its own. If you put in the zeros, it's not going to mess it up, though. So you just type it into y equals just how you see it, okay? All right. So where's the first x value? Negative 3, and then 0, and then positive 3. It doesn't matter which one you pick. I'm going to pick negative 3, okay? But I know what my answers already have to be.
Wouldn't it be easier to do 0?
Huh?
Wouldn't it be easier?
Not for division.
Oh.
Because remember, we're doing division?
Yeah.
Let's see. Sam, I always just start on the left-hand side so I make sure I can keep myself organized. That's just my logic behind it. All right, so I have 1 with a 5. I don't have an x to the 4, so I'm going to put 0. I have a negative 8 with the x to the 3. I don't have an x squared, so I'm going to put, and I got a negative 9 with my x, and I'm missing a constant, right? So I got to put a 0 for my constant. Alright, so we're always going to add, bring that 1 down. Multiply, you get negative 3. Add, you get negative 3. Multiply, you get 9. Add, you get 1. Multiply, you get negative 3. Add, you get negative 3. Multiply, you get 9. Add, you get 0. Multiply, you get 0. Add, you get 0. Are you noticing a pattern on all 3 of these each time about your remainder? It's always 0 for these, okay? Alright, so here's what we need to know. We know x plus 3. We'll see, 1 less than 5 would be x to the 4. So we have x to the 4 minus 3x to the 3rd plus 1x squared minus 3x, and I don't have a constant, right? Oh, you know what? We could have pulled an x out to begin with. Oh, well, it'd be alright. Alright, what do you notice? Let's see, there's 4 terms, right? So let's do grouping. What do these first 2 have in common? 3 of them, right? There's 3 x's. So it'll be x minus 3. What do these back 2 have in common? X. So it'll be x minus 3. Alright, pretend like that plus 3 is not there, right? You're just going to pull this x minus 3 to the front. And that'll leave you with x cubed plus x. See, I can take that further, right? What do y'all see? What do they have in common? An x. I can pull that x to the front, right? Ooh, I should have pulled that x to the front to begin with, man. Okay. So what's this 0?
Wait.
What, babe? Where?
Do-
Where? From here to here?
Yeah.
These 2 right here had an x in common. So I pulled him to the front.
Why did you pull? Because that looks like it took an x out of every dimension.
No, it's just, it is technically, because remember these are all multiplication. So I just pull it to the front. That'll leave me with x squared and then plus 1. Alright, what's this 0? 0. What's this 0? Negative 3. What's this 0? Positive 3. And what's this 0? We're going to have to do that one, right? It is I. Very good. Move the 1. It'll be negative 1. Square root. What's the square root of negative 1? I. Very good. Actually, excuse me. That's plus and minus. Ooh. I was like, where'd that 5th one go? So, Andy, I should have 5 of them, right? There's 2 here. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Are y'all okay? We're going to do this all day tomorrow. That's all we're going to do is the rest of this page tomorrow, okay? And then, let's see, Thursday, that'll be it, right? Thursday, we have one more tiny thing to do. And then Friday, we'll take your test. Are y'all okay? Guys, look, this is a lot of stuff. What should you already start to do? Study. You should already be looking over everything, okay? I think y'all got the hang of long division now. Y'all are rock stars at long division. All right, let me give you your checkpoint. You got about 6 minutes left. Let me give you your checkpoint.
Are you going to give us our quizzes yet?
I am going to give you your quizzes right after that. Yes, ma'am.